was not looking for.
You got it.
Asia has a chance to win a league record 4th MVP this season. What have you seen from her this offseason that makes you think she could be the player to set that standard in league history?
Let's see, she went and got better, which is hard to do when you're already the best, but it speaks to her work ethic, her desire, and her mindset this whole offseason. We talked a lot this offseason, and she's a busy lady. But I can tell you what she always does is her workouts. She's always getting her workouts in. That comes first and foremost. She never gets her priorities jumbled up. But she's better.
It's hard to imagine that there'd be like an aspect of her game that you would want to improve. But as a coach, was there something that you said like, hey, this is maybe where we should focus on in your game?
There was. And she did. I'm not going to tell you what it was.
Becky, we've heard after many games about your
There's actually two, but I'm not going to tell you either.
about your notorious halftime speeches. Chelsea today said Becky ain't playing this season. Is there a fine line between being who you are as a coach and getting on them, but at the same time keeping mental health? You've also been a proponent for mental health and making sure they know that, hey, on the court I'm getting on you, but I'm also here for you. How do you ride that fine line as a coach?
Well, coaching is really just about relationship building. I think I make a lot of investments in them as people, spending time with them, talking with them. I don't think you can go at them hard in the locker room and not love on them hard out of the locker room. I think you have to have a certain amount of care for the person that you're coaching, whoever that is. I always want their mental health and their approach to want to come to the gym, to be happy to come to work. Because one thing I know, I had some not so fun years as a player, and those were my least productive years. Happy players make more efficient, better players. Just like employees, you walk into work every day, you have an excitement when you like where you work and you like the people that you work with. So creating that environment for them to come in where, hey, let's go. That kind of gas pedal approach comes with a lot of relationship building. And I don't think you have any business being a leader if you don't care about the people that you're leading. To me, it's a must. You have to care about the people you're leading, which requires time. So, yeah, I'm going to pull out on some of those withdrawals, but I've made a lot of deposits to be able to have that relationship with them.
As you look at your roster, do you anticipate having a longer bench and utilizing it more than you have, or you have to just kind of play it by ear and see how it goes from game to game?
Try and win games. I'm going to play whoever I think is going to help us win games. Period. That's my job. However, my bench isn't getting any longer because we can still only have 12 players. So, but I do see some positive things. The last couple of years we've had the 6th player of the year. I think we're going to have it again. I just don't know which one.
Aside of the obvious roster changes that this team has seen, what makes this particular team so different from previous teams that you've coached?
The mindset is different this year. We've been the starving man, It's not good enough to be hungry. You have to be starving in this league. New York was starving last year, and I think every game you went out and felt that from them. They were the best team all along, the whole season, and they had a long off season. Now it was us having a long off season. So we had a lot to think about. We had a lot to change. We had a lot of areas we needed to grow in. And so that's what we did. But to me, the mindset is different, We talk about dogs, like, oh, this so-and-so's a dog. I'm like, I'm done with the dogs. I want the hungry wolves. Give me the wolves. And I think we got we're building our pack.
Coach, you've always been very vocal about the role that Coach Pop has obviously played in your career and how much you've been able to lean on him over the past couple of months, and then most recently with his full-time transition into an executive role. Kind of how has the roles kind of reversed a little bit, and you've been able to kind of be the person that he's been able to rely on the past couple of months?
I mean, he's dealt with a lot over the last couple months. I do know he's stubborn, so I know he's probably driving his rehab people crazy and whatnot. And he's still got jokes. Still got jokes. He got his El Jefe shirt on. I don't know who he's pranking. I'm like, let there be no doubt, he was always El Jefe. Okay, that's not new. But no, I mean, he's gonna be great in this new role. You know, everything he does, he goes hard at, and so I expect this new role for him. He'll be just as great as he's been in all his other previous roles. The guy's always worn a lot of hats, whether it was recognized in the public or not, with his players and his relationship building that he's always had with his players. But I mean, he's somebody that's invested a ton of time into me. You know, so he's gonna be fine. He's always gonna be putting in the work. I can tell you that.
You came from the Greg Popovich coaching tree, and now you've kind of developed one of your own with Natalie Nakase and Tyler Marsh leaving for head coaching jobs over the last couple of months. Is there a sense of pride that comes with that?
I don't know if pride, but I certainly want them both to do great, except for when they play the Aces. Of course, I want them to have a high level of success. You know, I'm already proud of them, though. I mean, what we did here and what they helped build here, we all get to have that forever. Nobody gets to take that from us. So the fact that they get the opportunity to now go and build out their own is super exciting for me. Proud, I mean, I don't know. I've always been proud of them. You know, it's like they could do the worst. I'm still gonna be proud of them. But they earned their opportunities, and I know they'll both do the most with it.
Have either one leaned out to you since they've arrived in their new spots? Be like, hey, you're not gonna believe this.
I mean, yeah, you know, Tyler's hit me a couple times on some stuff, which is funny because I'm like, see, told you. It's different when Cherover for sure, which they're both learning.
When you're in the middle, you've had to work closer with Nikki in the GM role this season. What have been some of the challenges that you've had to balance as a head coach and retooling the roster and working in that GM capacity as well?
Well, Nikki's been great. Nikki does all the stuff I don't want to do, which is like jump on phone calls, talk unlimited to all these people. I'm like a basketball person. Keep me in my lane. You know, but she was great. I think she was really instrumental in the pieces that we were able to add this year. You know, it's funny because we would jump on phone calls with each other, and I could talk about the basketball side, and then she can talk about all these other things that I don't want to talk about, I don't know about. So it was a good. We were definitely a good tag team in that aspect. But you know, we're on the phone frequently with each other, put it that way. But I thought she did a great job.
Just want to get your thoughts on New York Liberty, the Aces, and DNA and Fever being favored to win the WNBA championships. Can I get your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think obviously Indiana has added some pieces that's going to make them a contender. New York are the champs until somebody beats them. So, you know, favorites are just favorites on paper. It's whoever goes out there and earns it. You know, at the end of the day, you got to be about the work, not about the chatter. And I think it's great though that there's multiple teams. It tells you how good this league is and how hard it is to win in this league. That we're saying multiple teams. You didn't even say Minnesota. Minnesota's a hell of a team. You know, Phoenix is going to be a heck of a team. LA. I mean, you go down the list. There's nobody that you go down on this schedule and are like, oh yeah, that's a W. Those days are gone. You got to go out and work every night for every win, every quarter, every 5-minute stretch. You got to take it off in chunks and win the moment.
Thank you, Becky.
Thanks, Brad.